Good morning, Rabbi Isai. First of all, tremendous welcome. All the way from New York, flew in just for the shir. Tzvi Spiro and his son, Shmuli. Shmuel or Shmuli? Shmuli. Shalom Aleichem. Here, you know what? We'll do, why not? I'm the cameraman also today. Here we go. Two of them, all the way from New York, just to hear the shir Gevaldik. Thank you. And you're doing the daf a little bit here and there. We're going to be chazak. We're going to do it. Father. Okay. Rabbi Isai. Oh, and also happy birthday to Joseph Gold. That's right, Gold, who's 40 years old today. No, I'm kidding. Something like that. I just wanted to show you real quickly in Eretz Yisrael, they're doing something special. We could do this here in America as well, or you guys in America could also jump on this. But if somebody shows up to one of the satellite locations in Eretz Yisrael 10 times, it could be 10 different satellite locations. We encourage, today we're encouraging the Tveria location because it's where a lot of people are going on vacation up north. But you can go to MDY, the hub, the mothership, where you go to 10. You get into a raffle for the Shabbaton, which sold out. So you get you could either get a free room, a tablet, or 1,500 shekel. An idea. Rabbi said, our famous Dave, who's huge on the camera, he's unbelievable. He's a real talent because during shir, if I mention something, 22 seconds later, he pulls it up from a random shir from a year ago, 2 years ago. It's up. He's incredible. And here he is, his son became bar mitzvah today, Baruch Zev. Here he is. Dave is smack in the center with the bar mitzvah boy, right behind the bar mitzvah boy, Arias Simon, the big guy, and Benny, who sold Benny's to come work for MDY, the guy all the way to the right. The guy all the way to the left is Gary Ben Moshe, the other cameraman, the original cameraman, and Noam Fix is next to Gary. Anyway, Ari Haas says, what a beautiful siyum I attended. By the way, I'm going through, oh my goodness. I'm now hopping how old this email is. I thought it's a month old. It's actually a year and a month old. I'm not joking. We're getting now emails. I have about 3,000 unread emails. 3,000, unfortunately. So what a beautiful siyum I attended. I just realized now, seriously. I thought it's from June. So I'm like, hey, June, now I'm looking, 2025. Chaim Silverberg in Cedarhurst, in his words, his newfound geschmack. Now we're going to hear, wow, what a kiss from Hashem, because he just dropped off the daf. Now he's back on the daf because I mentioned it. Okay. Newfound geschmack for Gemara learning is entirely thanks to rebellion and the MDY experience. No chance it could have happened without rebellion. Sheer, life-changing. He even shared how he was once learning the daf out on the deck with his little son came out with a chumash and settled in next to him to see his son want to learn without being told to. That brought him much joy. Chaim's an inspiration and chizuk to us all. Ken Yirbu, best regards, Ari Haas. So just last night, Yechiel Gordon told me that he sits with his 3-4-year-old grandchild and goes through the book on Baba Kama, all the illustrations. That's like a comic book for the kids, so the kid knows different things. But the rabbi is 4 years old. So then somebody else that was here says, yeah, my kids are also very into learning. My daughter, who's 9 years old, is chasing her sister, says, I'm going to give him Malika. I'm going to give him you Malika. She sticks out her thumb like that. So the item's into learning. It's beautiful. Right, Yechiel? Does he really learn Yisai, this little kid?
He knows short Tam, short Muad.
Tam and Muad.
He knows Neshicha.
Neshicha and all this stuff. Oh, he's going to do a Neshicha on his brother. Wow. Here's another one from June 19th, 2025. Rebelli, Baruch Hashem, I have some really nice news to share. This is a nice one. This is a really, I can't believe I missed it a year ago. Okay, it's never too late. I spent this past Pesach with my parents, and on the last day, my father, Moshe Shiowitz, who's 81, made a comment about how important it is to keep the brain active as you get older to stay young. The truth is, I've been waiting for such an opening, so I jumped at the chance to pitch Daf Yomi with MDY. Now, you don't know my father, but let's just say that most people wouldn't peg him as the Daf Yomi type. But he was open to it. We have a picture of him. The next day was Makis Daf Yud Beis. And he said he'd wait to start with the next Masechta. I said, no. If you're inspired to do this, start now. I told him your story, how you started in the middle of a sugya with a Vezar Daf Chavches. I then handed him a free Gemara I just received in the way after referring my son Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem, my father's been learning with you ever since. He just made his first siyum of the cycle on Shavuos. I'm Masechet Shavuos, and Mizrat Hashem, he'll make a siyum on Shas when he's 88. He started when he's 81 years old. You hear what's going on here? He made his first siyum when he's 81 years old. It's beautiful. But wait, there's more. I run a site called amunadaily.com where I send out one short inspirational quote or message each day, and we just showed something from him. Through WhatsApp, it's Baruch Hashem grown to over 8,000 followers. That's a year ago, so today he has many more. Every now and then before Numas, I'll make a push for people to join Daf Yomi. I never really know how many people actually joined. Today I use the quote from Noach Isaac Olbaum: every blot is a missile, every taisus is a rocket, every kapitel tilim is a bomb. And then now they're finally using my MDY referral link. Klal Yisrael needs your schuyos. Tomorrow's Daf Yomi. In Daf Yomi, we're starting one of my favorite mesechtas in Shas, Avodah Zarah. So this is a year ago. Try it for 2 days. You'll be hooked. We need you. Click to get a free Arts Gemara. Click to receive a Munah daily. Baruch Hashem, at the time of this writing, 10 new people have joined. Thank you so much for inspiring me to do more. I have plenty more to say, but this email is getting way too long. Here's the picture of his father. 81-year-old Moshe Shiwitz. Now, I thought this was great. Remember yesterday we were learning how kids, they tamper in the garbage? And what do they find over there? Lizards. A guy sent me this beautiful video. It doesn't get any better than this. You know how these iguanas in Florida, they fall off the trees when it gets too cold? They say that they're still alive, actually.
Yes, they are.
You gotta be careful. He's playing around with this lizard. This is what kids do. He's holding it by the head. He's petting it. Now, but here's his brother. He's petting. It's crazy. This is what the Gemara says. They play with the lizards, with the iguanas. Here's the next one. It's not Tzar L'chaim because these lizards, he put them in a swing. It was great. I got to show it to the Israelis. He's trying to wake them up. Okay, Rabbi Isai, the Masechta is sponsored. The official edition of MDY Shas. I think we're going to see a little bit of official in a minute, of Meyer, I should say. The Masechta is by Zevial Sholof, Perek, Ilan, Emery, Davidovich, Brocha, Hatzlacha, Rafua, and Ahava. Daf Peiches, Peres Chaim Levin, Lila Zech Nishmas Harav Avram Yaakov ben Rav Meir Akoyim Panzer Yitzhak Brocha, Lezech Nishmas Harav Moshe Tzvi ben Rav Tuvia Levi Weintreu Zech Yitzhak Brocha. The Masechta, David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Moiri, Rav Shmuel Baruch ben Rav Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zechron Levracha. The Masechta, the Palachik Family Foundation, may our Libanat Torah during Ben Azman and bring us closer to Megula V'Simcha. Anonymous Hatzlach Baruch and Ubigashmis. Thank you to Chief Benny. Shmuel Anova Schuster for continuing Hatzlach and Nachas from our children. Anonymous for a complete refuah shleima and arichas yom to Leah Bas Esther. Chaim and Leah Levi in honor of the MDY family. Anonymous for my birthday and as a schus Hatzlacha of my family Bruchni and Bigashmi. Ari Simon refuah shleima of Imori Baruch ben Miriam. The Tzvi's refuah shleima. That's you. No. Refuah shleima to Rivka, Naomi, Bas, Elisha, Batya, the Muncie MDY firefighters, Lila Nishmas, our unforgettable chief, Chaim Gabriel ben Ari Yoel Jacobson, Zechron Levracha. The Spanish year sponsors, refuah shleima to a dear friend of the Shir Be'Espanol. I got it. Daily sponsors anonymous for the murder of Avram ben Yosef Shlomo ben Yom Tov. Anonymous refuah for young girl getting heart transplant. Esther Bela Bas Yonina Tova Cyril. She should have a refuah shleima. MDY Coffee Corner Day. Jeff Cohen in memory of Chaya Bas Tzvi Hirsch, a true coffee lover, on her yard side. What a way to remember her. What?
That's perfect.
It is. It's schmack. I like it. Peches is always Peretz Chaim. Let's go back to Peretz Chaim. He told me, just like Samachal was yours, so I should have remembered that. Where is it? Oh. Daf Peches, Peretz Chaim Levin. Rabbi Pam, which I had a schus because I lived in Kensington. I saw him a few times walk with his wife up and down 18th Avenue, like closer to 18th Avenue on Ocean Parkway, between like, was it das? Oh. Okay, the next sponsor is MDY Kids sponsor Kinnovations LLC as a schus for Simcha Ben Fego, Rivka Yehudis Bas Yafa Chaya, and Our Kids 2. MDY Art. L'Refuah Shleima Mordechai Ben Esther. L'Refuah Hayeled Daniel Zev Ben Ayelet Esther. So we never knew who this kid was. Today, I find out who this kid is. We have Tzvi Spiro here, who sponsors Rufus Hayel Daniel Zev Ben Ayelet Esther. And we have a video of Meyer talking to the kid who's in Camp Simcha right now. This is from today.
For you. Tzvi Spiro said to look out for you.
Tzvi Spiro.
Okay? And MDY Mark Ashkenazi. And you're Tzvi Spiro? His neighbor. You're his neighbor. He said you should bring his on for Shabbos. So send a message to Tzvi. Can I send a message to Tzvi?
Say a message to Tzvi. Tell him thank you.
Daniel Zeb and Ayelet Esther, right? That your name? So be healthy and always be healthy and always smile. You're excited. Can I have a bracha for you?
Amen.
Can I have a bracha for you? Give me a bracha. Amen.
My.
And you too, okay?
It's such a sweet kid. Wow. Okay. He should have a Refuah Shleima. Shkoyach Tzvi. So where does he live? Right next door to you? Wow. Okay. So this is going on for a while. Wow. Okay. That's later. And we did that. Okay. Rabbi Isai. We have a very interesting daf. A very easy daf. A lot of the daf is just like different materials that you do kisei adam with. Like many different materials. We have pictures, we have stuff. Very cool stuff. Zokt the Gemara. We're holding 5 lines from the bottom of Pezayin Omid Beis. Tanan Hasam. So just to start off with, Taisus jumps in right away. Tanan Hasam, 95% of the time in Shas means there's a Mishnah over there. In fact, if you look 6 lines from the top of Pezayin Omid Beis, right where it says Gemara, the first words are Tanan Hasam. That means there's a Mishnah in Zvachim. That's just nice Mishnah, don't worry about it. So over here it says Taisus is just a brisa, it's not an actual Mishnah. Okay, not awesome. Fascinating sugi here. Kol mashke hameis tahirim chutz midamei. Now, anybody that's been part of Daf Yomi for a little bit, just a few months, the sugya is a joke. But Morty, you might have an issue here for a minute. But it's fun. It's easy. You know anything about Tum and Tahara? You do? It's very easy. I'm going to explain it, and I have charts. We actually are introducing a brand new chart because the original chart that's 7 years old that I did myself before we had anybody. Then later on, Reuven Shade updated. Then Yoshi. And now we have a brand new chart. Not awesome, and it's very easy. Be'emes, easy. Kol mashka hameis tahirim chutz midamei. Listen to this. Tears that come out of any liquid, urine, tears, milk from a woman, dead. Tar. The only liquid that comes out of a dead person that's tameh is blood. And on that, the Gemara is going to ask a question that we see mefurish that it's not true, that it is tameh. And the Gemara at the end says, no, it's not tameh. So that's the sugya. It's about 10, 15 lines, and that's it. So if you don't like Tum and Tahara, too bad. It's going to be over in 5 minutes. But nevertheless, we're going to go through the whole idea of Tum and Tahara. It's cool. We have a lot of cool videos also. But it's so interesting, and I say this over and over. Before you learn Daf Yomi, it's like an abstract thing. It's like a scary thing. Tum, Tahara, what is it? What's going on? A typical yeshiva guy doesn't really get it. It's not something that we learn in yeshivas, and it's scary. But at the end of the day, it's very, very simple. Literally a 3-minute explanation, and you got it. You got 85% of the halachas. There are little variations and stuff like that, but the main idea is there. I'm going to explain it all. Not all, half. And if you have, like we had yesterday, the blood that congeals, the one on the left side, the water in the blood separates from the blood. And the Gemara called it salalta. It's yellow, that yellowish color right over there. What?
Serum? Plasma.
Why the article calls it serum? He says plasma. Plasma/serum. But the guys know what we're talking about. If it has a little bit of a red tint to it, mitamin ba'oil, that we already saw yesterday, tumas oil, we'll show it again because Morty wants to see it again, so we'll show it for Morty, why not? Listen, it's his fourth day here, it's not a joke. If you bring a mace into a room, the entire room becomes tame. Everything in the room, we show it in red. If you have a little vase in the side, it becomes tame. You have a food over there, everything in the house. That's why you tell the kohanim to leave a hospital. There's a dead person on the floor. You gotta leave. Everybody leaves. And Eretz Yisrael, there's like alarms and then lights. Don't come in when there's a dead person there. Why? Because it all becomes tame to mace. So if you have this little the red stuff becomes tame. Umashk, if you hear noise in the background, the balabas here, Shmuel Wasserman is throwing a barbecue for the Lubavitch and Masifta. Two boys are making a siyum on the entire Masechtas Baba Kama, which they know about Peh, Shakla V'Tarya. They took a test, which is incredible. Incredible thing for a young Bach. What?
9-hour test.
A 9-hour test. Wow. I mean, it's one thing to learn the whole Masechta, then put them through they had to repeat the whole thing? Wow, it's very, very special. It's a chizuk. It should be a chizuk for the whole yeshiva. It should be a chizuk for Klal Yisrael. And I'm not saying everybody could do it. Not everybody's holding on that level of kishrin, of memorizing, but you could do it. People could do a lot more than they think they're capable of doing it. And if you have a whole masechta like that, it's something you can go and think about in certain situations. And you don't have a gemara. You're walking to shul. It's cool. It's very, very impressive. So they're singing. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you hear noise, what you're hearing, you shouldn't hear it we hear it in the room, but it shouldn't pick up, just in case. It's a beautiful song coming from a beautiful simcha outside in this backyard of this house. So, and by the way, Shmulik, as a side note, if one thing, forget the chesed and everything that you're doing for the shir, but if your son-in-law joins the shir on a permanent basis, then it was worth it, but worth it. There's no money you could put to it. I'm serious. Because your grandchildren are going to grow up with a father that learns Torah in front of them. Your daughter is going to have a husband that learns, and she's going to be proud of him. Yeah, there's no money you could put to this. People pay for this stuff. No pressure. I know how to do it. Trust me. It's not my first time. I lock him in, lock you in. You're all locked in. Shalom, you're done. You're a goner. Finished. And by the way, I'm going to be back in a week from now. So you think you're going to slack? I'm back. So says the Gemara, yeah, you're gonna. What's the slack? It's beautiful. Everything, every day, right? Every day. Did I let you down? Every day you're learning 6 to 10 new things that you didn't know before, right? MS. He's shaking his head yes, because it's true. Says the Gemara like this. Umashke hameis taharim. What do you mean that the liquids are tar? I'm going to prove to you that it's not tar. Which at the end the Gemara says it's not a good proof. Veriminu, 2 lines from the bottom. Mashke tvul yoim. What is a tvul yoim, Morty? So here's a tvul yoim. This is all for Morty. The fact that you guys know these videos inside out is not my problem. Morty has to see this. This is not far from the truth. I've witnessed exact same case of a Russian falling down on Ocean Parkway, and his friends continued to play chess. They looked over, they saw him on his face, and there's just nothing. Not. I was the one calling the ambulance. They were in the middle of a chess game. So, because you touch a dead sheretz, what do you become, Morty? You become a rishon in the tumah. The sheretz is avatumah, you become a rishon. You have to go to the mikvah, even that day. But after you go to the mikvah, you don't become tar. You become a tvul yoim. You're in between state. Morty knows this already, but it's okay. So do other people. You become purple. You go from red to purple. You become green, which is completely tar at nightfall. Okay. Viriminu. Mashke tvul yoim. What's a mashke tvul yoim? This guy tvul yoim, this guy on the screen, right? If he spits at somebody. His liquids, his urine, his spit, his tears Kimashkim shenogeh behem. Identical to as if this cup of water, the Tful Yom puts his finger in the cup of water. What happens to the cup of water? What happens, Rabbi say? The same thing that happens to his tears. So what is that? Zero, nothing. Nothing happens. Ve'elu ein mitamim. Okay, so that's a new halacha that we just learned today. A new yisoid. It's all tar. Ushar kol atmeim bein kalim bein chamurim. So let's do the chart just for fun. Okay. So here's the original chart. It's beautiful. Everything is great. Not the original. This is already version number 4. Okay. I'm going to explain the chart, but here's the new one. Let me just show you the new one. This is the new one. This is the upgraded one from today. I think it's nicer. What you have on top is the worst of the worst of the worst. It's called a via voisa tuma. That's a dead man, dead person. That's the worst tuma you could possibly have. And the way tuma always works is when a tuma touches something, whatever that thing is, that thing drops one level. It always drops one level. Almost always. There's an exception. I'll tell you in a second. So if a via voisa tuma touches a human being that's alive, he becomes a what? Avatuma. It goes from a via voice to just one avatuma. A dead rat, which is also on the same level as a person who touched a dead person, is a avatuma. A dead rat is not a via voice atuma, he's a avatuma. So when an avatuma touches food or even a vessel, when a sheretz touches a vessel, it becomes one level less. It goes from avatuma to what? A rishon. And when a rishon touches something else, it drops one level to what? A sheni. When a sheni touches something else, a shlishi. Now, a sheni can't really make other things tameh. But for that, I'm going to show you a beautiful video. Check this out. This is gorgeous, this thing. Now, we're not so familiar with this video. I haven't shown it a lot. If a dead mouse touches a piece of meat, he becomes a rishon, a 1. If that rishon touches another piece of meat, he becomes a sheni. If that piece of meat touches another piece of meat, he can't make him a shlishi. However, if he walks away and touches what? Truma. Now he can make a piece of truma a shlishi, because truma is very sensitive. What's more sensitive than truma? Huh, Morty? A carbon. Kachim. So shlishi can make a carbon, like it looks like a Beis Hamikdash, this piece of meat, a revi. And a revi, that's it. He's done. A revi could actually make what? Does anybody know what a revi can make a chamishi? Paraduma. And it can make a mashishi and a shvi and shmini, the whole thing. Well, let's just stop at the 4th. Okay. So now, Yossi Klein sent me this video today. It's great. I think you're going to love it. I just saw it now for the first time. Check this out. Here's a chayal explaining this.
טוב, עבר עלינו יום לא פשוט, או כמה ימים לא פשוטים מאז שעלינו לרכס פה.
This is very bad days he had over
בא
there.
אלינו יהושע בעמק, בתוך עומקה של הלכה. אז בואו נראה. יש לנו פה שיירץ.
There's a sheret, it's a real one.
בואו נראה. אם הוא נוגע בכלי חרס שבור, הוא גם ככה שבור. אין לזה שום נפקא מינה.
It's nothing.
בכלי חרס הזה, כמובן שאין לזה שום משמעות.
If you touch it from the outside, it doesn't become tummy. When does it become tummy? Only if you put it inside the kli.
וכשהוא מטמא אותו ככה, הדרך היחידה לתאר את הכלי חרס,
How do you make it tahar?
זה על שבירה.
You break it. It's great. It's a great video. Okay. So now that we know that, there's one cool thing about Tumah that we need to speak about today. And that is that water, I should say, not water. What did I just do? Liquids, even if they're a shlishi, if they become tamei, they become a what? A rishon. That's the Rabban we're going to see soon. They climb up. They become worse than what they were. They move up, so to speak. Instead of dropping down to Revi, they move up to a rishon. That's liquids. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. So, says the Gemara, V'shar kol atmeim, all these other tamei beings, ben kalin, ben chamurim, whether they are a light tamei or a very severe tamei. And the Gemara is going to explain what that means. So if, let's say, it's liquids that touch a dead person, they will become, the Gemara says, a rishon. Ve'elu, tchila. Tchila always means a rishon. So, whether they are severe tamei or light tamei, if it's tears that come out of them, spit that comes out of them, that has the same halacha as liquids that they touch with their finger, and that means that they will become a rishon. Chutz, besides, by the way, again, if this is too complicated for you for whatever reason, I don't know why, because you have a trauma and you have a block to this, this Daf Yomi, so it's going to be over in 3 minutes by the 2 dots, which is in 5-6 lines. I'll call upon him. And this is easy. But listen to this. Chutz min hamashke shu avatuma. If you have the liquid that is the avatuma, what's avatuma liquid? Such as the spit of a zav. The spit of a zav is avatuma. It's inherently tamei. It comes out of his mouth. Or shichva zera. But these are avatuma. Now, here's the question. Now we got to the question. My kalin or my chamur, what's severe and what's non-severe? My lav, kalin, sheretz, v'zav. If you look at the chart over here, on the second step from the top, you have a sheretz, and on the third step, you have a zav. Compared to the dead persons on the top step, these are lighter types of tumah. And what's the severe one? A dead man. My lav, kalin, sheretz, v'zav. The chamur maze. And what does it say in this? What do we just read? We just read that the liquids that come out of them, they are tamei what? A tchila. What's tchila? A rishon. So you just told me that liquids that come out of a dead person, what's liquids that come out of his tears, his spit, urine, they are a rishon. We started off the sugya saying that all the liquids that come out of a dead person, tahar. The only liquid that comes out of a dead person, that's tamei, is blood. And over here it says no, that they're a rishon. But it doesn't say mefurish, it says kalin and chamurim. I think in my mind, chamur means a dead person. So the way to get out of the question is to say no, chamur does not mean a dead person. Chamur means something else. Okay. Loi, kalin, sheretz, v'chamurim, zav. There is a lighter one and a severe one, but the severe one is a zav, and the light one is a sheretz. But wait a minute, listen to this. Doesn't this bother you guys? That, yes, but there's something worse than that. How is it possible that liquids that come out of a zav are tamei, and liquids that come out of a dead person are tar? Where's the logic? That person is much worse. What's the answer? Says Gemara, Maishna zav that goes to Rabbanon, Maishna meis that goes to Rabbanon. This is all Gzeret Rabbanon. So why in the world would Chacham say that the tears and the spit that comes out of a dead person, tar? Why? Says Gemara, very simple. Zav d'leibdili in sheminei. Maybe there's a zav here in the room, right here, sitting on this table, and nobody knows. How will you ever know? There's no sign on his head that says, I'm a zav. Zav is a sickness, it's a disease. Liquid comes out of his body because he's sick. Nobody knows. That's a private matter. So Chacham have to say, hey, we gotta beef this up. We gotta make sure that nobody touches the zav. And we say, hey, his spit, he's dangerous. Don't sit next to him because his spit will make you tamei. Oh, okay, so he's a zav. Everybody goes like this. But a dead person, I don't need to start making chumras. Everybody stays away from a dead person. Everybody knows that a dead person is a dead person. And of the sugya, how was it, Morty? Not bad, no? It's easy, but it's easy, no? Smash. Okay, there's a few halachas here and there. Every time we learn a sugya, we add a little bit. But the basics, they're not that complicated. Okay. So we learned in the Mishnah, Damanitas v'shalasakin, that if you have even blood on a knife, you should cover it. Toner Rabbanan. V'chisahu, it says in the pasuk you should cover it. Melamed shedamanitas v'shalasakin chayv l'chasis, you should cover even blood on a knife. Rabbi Yehuda comes along and says, let me explain you. He doesn't come to argue, he comes to explain the Mishnah. If that's the only blood you can find from this animal, you have a chiv to cover blood, you have nothing else, so cover the blood on the knife. But if there's blood on the floor, and that's the good news, Rabbi say, because we're going to see a 3-way machlokes. Here's the machlokes. How much blood one must cover? According to Chachamim, all blood. All blood. So you have blood on the wall, blood on the floor, blood on the knife, blood on the machines, in the shlachtois. You got to sit there and sprinkle and look with the microscope and sprinkle. Baruch Hashem, the halacha is not like Chacham. Who's the halacha like? Rabbi Yehuda. He says a little bit. Yaitz a little bit. You don't need all of it. So we have a mazel. Because guess what? If the halacha was you have to cover everything, the meat would be $42 a pound. Yeah? Rabbi Shimon Gamliel says he's in between. It's dama nefesh. What's dama nefesh? Dama nefesh, if you're queasy from blood, if you're like Mordechai, don't look. Dama nefesh is the blood that squirts out forcefully right after you shecht an animal. All that, whatever drips after is not important, all that must be covered. Okay, so, huh?
You're looking at a cow, but we don't cover the blood for cow.
Yeah, but just to explain dama nefesh, you're right. We're talking about a deer or even a bird. But you're right. It's a good hara. Maybe it should have been better. They would have been less confusing if you had done it with a deer. Tanya idach v'chisou melamed kol damai chayv l'chasis. Remember that was Chachamim. Chachamim say all of the blood you must cover. Mekan amru damanitas v'shalagapayim. All the blood that spritzes out, you find it on the wall, on the table, you got to cover it. V'shalagapayim means the walls of the shechita. So when you slice that neck and it opens up, all that blood in the animal you have to cover. Interesting. Chayv l'chasis. Omer Shimon Gamliel comes to Gamliel and says, no. It's only if you didn't cover the blood, the life blood. That initial blood, that squirt, potem l'chasis. And what's the source of the three-way machlokes? Rabban and Savri, damai, kol damai. It makes sense. The Torah says you should cover damai, its blood. It doesn't say how much. Its blood means all the blood. Rabbi Yehuda Savar damai, and Bafila mixes damai. The word damai means from the blood. It doesn't mean all the blood. It's part of the blood. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Savar damai. You're right. It does say damai hamiyucha. Damai means the blood, like with hey idea, the special blood, the blood that his soul is in it. That's where the neshama comes out of. That's the blood you have to. So we pass like Rabbi Yehuda Baruch Hashem, and some of the blood is enough. Okay, now we're going into a whole sugya of different types of material that you could use to cover the blood. So I just want to show you.
Isn't it unusual that the bottom is such a machmir type of sack?
No. It's not their choice. It's the way they learn the pasuk. If you learn the pasuk, dama means all the blood. You can't start playing games. They're not rabbanim that are trying to paskin a psak halacha for a yid that's about to lose money. They're explaining the pasuk. To them, the word dama means all the blood. There's no ifs and buts. Hashem wanted it like that in Shalom Yisrael. You have to do it like that. I'm going to change the halacha because you don't say chasam Yisrael for real pshat in a pasuk. Oh, that's also why did they pass me like that? I don't know. Then I don't know. That's a different shiloh. Let me see this video of Rishon and Tuma. That's the guy from that whole video with the fire things. He's crying, so his tears are Rishon. Touches a kli. A Rishon and a kli. Okay. Says the Mishnah. So I just want to show you real quickly what we're about to learn here. Also super important. These are the three rules that explain the whole sugya, and then if you know this, then you don't know. Number one is if you could grow something like dirt that you could grow, then that's something that you could cover blood with. So any material, we're going to give you a list of 10 materials that you could grow stuff in. It doesn't have to be. It can be talc. What is it called? Talc. The TALC, talc. The white stuff. I don't know what. It could be anything. Sawdust is one of them. It's one of them. It's in the list. Now, there's another massive chiddush. Anything that has a name of dirt. If the Torah calls it dirt, and you cannot plant in it at all. But the Torah calls it dirt. I don't want to give it away. Okay, I'll give it away. Gold dust. If you grind gold down, you can't plant anything in it, but the Torah calls it dirt. So that's something that you can use. If you run out of dirt, you take your gold, you grind it down, and you do kisei adam. Listen, if you're on a boat, something, you got to do it. You got to do what you got to do. And finally, one halacha of what you cannot do. If you have dirt that you cannot plant in, what's dirt you can't plant in? Like beach sand, no? In the desert, you can't plant stuff in that sand over there. Right, Tzvi, remember the desert? Can't plant anything over there. So Mela, you got to be careful, Sam, because they're sneaking into the pool.
You can't use sand?
You cannot use sand that you can't plant in. So if you have sand, it's perfect, it's very fine, it's geschmack, but it's not plantable. Is that a word? Now I'm going to say plantable. Huh? Yes, so some things do grow, but whatever. For the most part, you can't.
Are you allowed to use the dust or the gold or whatever after you set it up? Or is it as a use?
No, you could probably, but you mean you're undoing the kisei adam? Yeah, I
No,
guess.
because if the gold is expensive, you want to...
Yeah, you're worried about the guy's gold. I hear. You got to ask the rabbi. Says the Mishnah, Bameh mechasen, ubama mechasen. What can you use to cover the blood? What can you use? Mechasen bezevel adak. Fertilizer that's very thin. Ubechari ladak, and very thin dirt. Besid, lime. What did I say? Oh, okay, fine. Chol, sand. Dirt, sand, to me it's all the same. Are you saying there's a difference? Okay. Besid. Limestone. Ubecharsis. This is ground down. You have like earthenware that you broke down into small pieces. It goes together. There are two different things, but the shikatasham. Levena is a brick. Umegufa is it's a barrel made out of earthenware. Shikatasham that you broke it down, you ground it up, and you know those machines. They have it here on the side of the highway. When they rip up the highway, they put it through a machine and it grinds it up into not sand, but into smaller, they make a mulcher for concrete. They put massive blocks of concrete and it just spits it out into smaller things so they could use it as, what's that first layer that they put underneath the roads? Gravel, exactly. They're making the gravel. So he takes his broken earthenware, his barrels, throws it through a gravel machine and it comes out very thin. Aval ein mechasen, you cannot use loy bezevel hagas veloy bechol hagas. You cannot use something that's thicker. That's thicker fertilizer, thicker sand. Veloy beleveino b'mgufa shlo ketashan. You can't use bricks and barrels that weren't ground down. Veloy yichpe olav esakli. I guess they used a lot of ice for that barbecue. That's the pshat, just going and going. I know. I have one next to my study where I learn every day, and also. Rabbi say, it's a great idea to take a plastic bag and cover it. No, you can't use a pot and cover it. It needs to be fine dirt, sand, or something similar. Here comes the first yesod. Something that you could grow flowers, plants in it, not cactus trees, but other stuff. If you cannot grow something in it, end the story. Says Gemara, what does it mean, the thin sand? If the guy, the fabricator of earthenware, you go to those not chalamayid. A lot of people they make earthenware with the kids and stuff. So you have this guy making it. He uses fine sand. If he doesn't have to break it up, that's the simon. If it's good for him, it's good for us. And some say it goes on what you shouldn't use. You should not cover loy b'zev lagas. Now with the thick stuff, loy b'chol lagas and the thick sand. What does it mean? If he has to break it down with his own hands, then you cannot use it. The first thing was, if he doesn't have to break it down, you could use it. Over here it says, if he does have to break it down, you cannot use it. My benayu, where's the nafkamina and the two pshatim? If it's one of these in between that you don't have to, you do have to. The mifrach that you do, you break it down with your fingers, so to speak. You don't need a machine. But it's as if it's considered that you don't need to break it down, and therefore it's kosher according to the first lashon. That would be considered a kosher product. Maybe you could just cover with stones. Take gravel, for instance, thicker stones, throw it over. Or put some sort of vessel over it. Should be with dirt. So it says it should be dirt. Who told you can use things that are similar to dirt? Crushed earthenware. Here, so I have a bunch of. Why am I not showing you these beautiful things that Yoshi put together? Shchikas charsis is grindings of pottery, top left corner. Shchikas avanim, grindings of stone, top right corner. Mesiris charshin, this is carpenter's sawdust, right bottom. And here's Na'ir's Pishtan, fine chaff of flax. Geshmak. Besid, the char says, Daf Peiches on the base. Leveno, Maguvish Ktasham, you take a stone and you take a barrel, throw it into the grinder. Talmud Loimer Vichiso. Okay, so it doesn't say you should use dirt to cover it. Vichiso, cover it. So Mela, I added all these things. Now, maybe I should add more, even the thicker stuff. And maybe even includes metal. Take a pot, throw it through the grinder. Maybe it includes also a brick and a barrel that you didn't break down. V'kemach, v'subin, umursan. Oh, so what's kemach, subin, umursan? There we go. Zeval gas. Coarse dung. Subin, coarse flour. Mursan, he calls a bran. There's other pshatim. Avanim, stones. Okay, let me show you this video now. It's time to show a video. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, here we go. This explains the Mishnah. The blender tells you if it's pasal or kosher. It's fine. Kosher. This is klimat teches that we just said. Metal. Kli itself is not good. Oh, you see that it's so sophisticated that even when the dish is not on the machine, it also knows possible. Remote, yeah. So. Oh, I have to say the sponsor. Sorry, I have to say sponsors. You're right. Who is it?
Arya is going nuts.
Which Arya?
Simon.
Oh. Is he really? Wow. Shalom Aleichem, Arya. I called you the big guy in the picture. Turning to the daf. Ardar Global, International Wire Transfer Special. You can go to sleep now. I said your thing. In a league of its own. Encore Healthcare as a schus for Klal Yisrael. mdydaf.com/shidduch. Everybody, listen to this. As of today, incredible. 250 resumes in 1 week. Exactly 50% men, women, boys, girls, whatever you want to call them, female, male, 50-50. 125, 125. And 6 shiduchim red. You believe this? 6 different people. So we got to get more resumes. And Be'ezer Hashem, it's going to go. I'm looking forward to seeing Moti Belsky's $10,000 go to somebody's chasana. Join today, upload a resume, and help make a shidduch, and help make shidduchim happen. You could upload other people's resumes. Be'ezer Hashem. You never know where it comes from, the Yeshua. People always said this, and I was taking people's resumes. That didn't work. And we have 15 people that volunteered to be Shadchanim. So far, Mati only took 10. And kids are Baruch Hashem. Okay, what else do I have to do? Okay, next. So, these are the things that you can't use. It has to be like dirt. You have a list of things that are good and a list of things that are not good. These are good, these are not good. So, very simple. There's a ribun miyut. Let's add everything that's like dirt. What does that mean? Dirt, what does dirt do? You could grow something in dirt. So anything that can grow in dirt, boom. Talc is something that you take off you shave a stone, right? So you could grow stuff that the Gemara says is okay. If you can't grow anything in it, you can't use it. Ask the Gemara, Eima v'chiso klal offer prat. So, this is another beautiful thing they did just for today. These are the shloishes remidas shatarin addresses them. If you look at Daled, top left corner, it's called the klal prat. We say in Korbanos a lot of times when we have time. We say Korbanos, klal prat, klal. You just say these words since you're a little kid. You don't know what you're saying. What's klal prat? Klal is a generalization. Prat is a specification. It's very, very specific. So what do we have? V'chiso. V'chiso means cover the blood in anything. In your pajamas, with a kli, with dirt, doesn't matter, with milk. But then it says ba'afar, it's very specific. So it says the Gemara, so wait a minute. The idea is, one of the 13 midas is klal prat. So what do you do when you have a klal and then a prat? V'chiso klal offer prat. Klal prat, ein ba'klal, ela masher b'prat. So it has to be exactly. If you have a klal prat and another klal, it's a sandwich, then you can add a lot of stuff. But if you only have a klal and then a prat, it has to be exactly like the prat. Offer in midach min eloi. It's very specific, only dirt. Omer of Mari, let me tell you a pshat in klal prat. It's 2 lines, and then we're done with that sugya. Klal hatzarech leprat. Look, the word v'chiso means nothing to me. If the Torah says wood, and then it says something else, there's a klal, a prat. But v'chisahu means nothing. V'chisahu can mean put a garbage bag over it, put a kli over it. It can mean anything. So I need the prat to explain to me what the klal is. So then I lose that whole klal of prat. Then it's nothing. Then I'm not memad anything, I'm not merab anything, nothing. The klal is nothing on its own. I need a prat to explain it. I can't use it at all. Dorash Rav Nachman bar Rav Chisda. Says Rav Nachman bar Rav Chisda, you shouldn't use to cover blood only something that you could plant in it. Omarava hai burcha. This is still what you're saying. Okay, interesting lashon, says Rava. Now, why is it shtusam? Isn't it our Mishnah? Our Mishnah says, here's the klal, you have to be able to plant in it. L'char the pshat is, seems like from Rashi, that on the reverse, what he's saying is, the Mishnah says that you have to plant. But what if it's something that you cannot plant in it? It's dirt that you can't plant. That he's saying that you can't use. Who said? Shtusim, not good. Why is that shtusim? I said it. I'm the one that told it to him. I'm not embarrassed to say that. I told that to him. And let me show you the proof. Before it's from this Mishnah. He's in the desert and he doesn't have any ashes to cover. Maybe it should say with the ayin, offer. What does it say on the side? Offer, yeah. It doesn't have dirt. Because aleph means ashes, ayin means dirt. Offer with the ayin. Shoichek, what do? Shoichek dinazav mechasa. You guys love that one. Take a golden coin. How much did the guy gave me a gift? The golden coin, right? For the shear. You remember? What did I say it's worth? How much is one golden coin? No. $4,000. Boom, here, Ellie, take. Probably one of the most expensive gifts. For the shear. It's for the shear. Oh, no. The old gold tires. So what do? You take a $4,000 coin, grind it up, and you cover the. Listen, it's a mitzvah. There's no limit to a mitzvah. Oh, a fifth of your nechasim. I hope you have a little bit more than that. You have a car, you have a this. You're on a boat. I have a video of this, of a guy doing this. He doesn't have here. It says it with the ayin over here. He doesn't have dirt to do kisedam. What do? Take off your expensive coat. You burn your clothing. Now, what does it say? He's walking in the desert. And he doesn't have dirt to cover. He should use a golden coin. What's the question, Morty? No, he's in the desert. It's only dirt. The whole desert is full of dirt. How does he not have dirt? What's the answer? What? Right. It's a raya that you can't use sand, that you can't grow stuff in. He's unlimited sand. Ask Tzvi, how much sand? There's so much sand, you got to wear this and that on your face. It just goes in your eyes the whole time. Yeah? It's coming out of your ears 3 weeks later. The camels, it's unbelievable because Baruch Hu gave them double eyelids. They go this, that, I don't know. So they have a trick where it doesn't go into their eyes. So, trick. Hashem made them in a way. It's unbelievable. So what does it say here? It says Mefurish, if he's in the midbar, you should use gold. Why use gold? Wherever you are, pick up a handful of the stuff and because you can't grow stuff in it. Now I understand why you can use your clothing, because as the Gemara is going to bring the pasuk soon, ashes are called offer. You can mix the two words, afer and offer. Eladiner zav min alan, where does the Torah call a golden coin offer? So now I just want to point this out. Now we understand the middle one. If it has a name of offer, gold has a name of offer. You cannot try to plant something in gold, it's not going to work. So why can you use it? Because it has a name of dirt. The Torah calls it dirt. So those are the two things that you're allowed to use: physical dirt that you could grow something in it. You're allowed to use something that has a name of dirt, and you're not allowed to use dirt that you can't grow something in it. Those are the 3 halachas we just learned. So now, here's a video just for Milsa de B'dichusa.
I would like to thank this gentleman for his vigilance, which prevented disaster and saved us all. And I would like to thank the captain for donating us a deer, so that we may prepare a proper Seidas Mitzvah.
Seidas Mitzvah.
We have a problem. We need sand to cover the blood. There is no sand out here.
He has no sand. How's he going to do Kisei Adam?
The mitzvah may also be performed with ash. It is acceptable. Wonderful. But where did you get it? Fire on the deck! Everyone be careful! It's unfortunate, but at least we ate well, didn't we?
How they come up with this stuff, I don't know. Fine. Zog the Gemara. Beis Shammai say you have to use only dirt. No, you can use ashes as well, because ashes are also called offer. And we said, if it's called offer, you can use it. Shenemar. So it calls it dirt instead of calling it ashes. We're talking about the ashes of the paraduma, yet the Torah calls it the dirt of the paraduma. So you see, dirt and ashes are interchangeable. It's the same word. One is with the ayin, one is with the aleph, interchangeable. No, we're looking for dirt without an additional name. This has an additional name, afar sreifa. That's no good. It has to be afar, not afar sreifa. Tana, oh, so now we have more items. Hashchar is ground charcoal. Chol is, throughout Shas, women put chol. It's like makeup. It's a ground blue stuff. Then you have also vinikras pisulim. That's in the bottom of the grinder. You have this, let's call it small millstone pieces. What does he call it?
Scrapings and millstone.
The scrapings and millstone. I guess when you grind with stone to stone, then you're going to have little pieces of stone break off those pieces. So you're allowed to use that. Zarnich is very dangerous. Comes from arsenic or piment. Okay, it's yellow, it's geschmack, great. What?
Don't eat it.
Do not eat it. Arsenic, very bad for your stomach. Omar Rava. So now we have a little piece of agad to finish off today. Avram Avinu compared himself to the dirt and to ashes. I'm dirt and ashes. I'm a nothing, I'm a nobody. This is Avram Avinu. Zachu bano of the shtei mitzvahs. So his children, for generations, the two mitzvahs, that one has to do with the word offer, one has to do with the word efer. First of all, efer para. You get to become tar through the ashes of the para aduma. Here, Shmuley, what's going on? You didn't give me any water. I'm thirsty. L'chaim. Part of Afar Soita. And also when a husband suspects his wife, she drinks the Soita water and there's dirt in there, and this is because of Avram Avinu said the word offer. Anoichi offer, so there's Soita offer. He said Efer, this Paraduma Efer. Now, just as a side note, the Chidah says, how did that Rizal acquire such crazy high musagim and the things that he was able to achieve, he says, are impossible for a human being that's tamei. You have to be tar, but we don't have tahara nowadays. We're tamei tumas meis. So how did that Rizal get his hasegim? Says the Chidah, it must be. I'm just throwing this out there. Just do whatever you want with it. It must be that Aliyah Navi came and sprinkled the paraduma ashes on him. Otherwise, a human being can't achieve that. Atkan divrei Chidah on para, on the sefer. It explains it. This next thing that we're going to say. So, I do want to point out here. It's obvious that when a parent, you hear this more, this for you. When a parent does something here, it has an effect on the future generations. First thing that comes to mind is people that learn in their dining room. They open up a tablet, and their children, small children, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, like your Nicole, this kid, they see it. This is what they see. They see a father that learns Torah, that it's important to him, that he says, oh, I got to go to shir. They hear it, they know it. And that has an effect. You don't know what an effect has. It has an effect on generations. Because now this kid is going to be interested in a Ben Torah. The kid is going to be interested in being a Ben Torah himself. It goes for generations. Avraham Avinu said 2 words here, thousands of years ago. Those 2 words have an effect for all his children, for generations upon generations, offer ve'efer. Isn't there another mitzvah that's done with dirt? And that's called kisei adam, covering the blood. So how come you should say, because Avraham Avinu said Afar, that's why his kids were Zoicha to kisei adam. Says the Gemara, Hasam echshe mitzvah ikka, hana leka. What would happen if there's no mitzvah of kisei adam? Nothing. You get to eat meat. You get to eat steak without covering the blood of a deer. If you don't have to cover the blood of a chicken, you don't know that you have to cover it. We don't even see it happening. So nothing happens. But what would happen if there's no afer of paraduma? We'd be in big trouble. Because we go to a levaya like today, we're in big trouble. Or like the Chidah said, you can't achieve certain madregas in Yiddishkeit because we are tumas meis. We have this burden of tumah. We don't see it, but we're red. We're like in the videos. We walk around with a red halo around us. Why? And that prevents certain kedusha to enter us, a certain relationship with the Rebbeinu Shalom. You can't go into the Beis Hamikdash. You can't eat truma. Now, okay, today it doesn't apply, but we're walking around with tumah. So it hurts us. The Efer of the Paraduma helps us. Physically, it helps us. You could do stuff because you have an Efer, you could go into the Beis Hamikdash. Right? When Mashiach comes tomorrow, how are we going to walk into the Beis Hamikdash if we're Tamei? The stuff is going to help us. Kisei Adam doesn't help us. It's a mitzvah. Okay, shaka lulav. Does lulav help you? No. You got a mitzvah. It helps you in ruchnius ways, but not in this world. You don't get the hana over here. Efer of Paraduma helps you in this world. The offer, that's the offer of the Efer of Paraduma. The offer of the Saita also helps her husband and her. Now she's allowed to go back home. So it's a physical thing. Kisu, the reason why it's not mentioned is because it's not a hana. Rabbi Yisai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDAF.com.